Hi everyone, welcome to another colouring project. This time we are going to be colouring from Elegant Elephants from Marjorie Sarnat. Now there are lots of lovely pictures in this book and I have chosen this steampunk-esque picture because for two reasons. I've been asked if I can do a steampunk colouring demo, so okay, I'll do my best. And I've also been asked about doing a gold clock face with reflection. I'm a bit like, let me just show you, I did one in this book here, and I was asked how I did it. So I'm going to have a go on here. I might do the clock face in Night Garden to show you on another video, but I thought we could use this clock face and do it just because I'm going to do some of the cogs and other steampunky bits and bobs on this page as well. And I'm going to show you my pencil combo firstly. Now these are Prismacolors. When I first wanted to do gold colouring, I saw a picture where someone had used gold and I asked them what they used, and they used Prismacolors. So I bought these 4 Prismacolor pencils only. I didn't have any others. I had some greens maybe, and it's number 947. Now I think that is the dark umber, but I'm not entirely sure. Obviously it's a bit short. I will look that up and let you know in the description. We've got the light umber, which is 941. We have got the yellow ochre, which is 942. And we have the jasmine, which is 1012. Now I now have the full set of polys only and prismas only just, and I might make new combinations of gold with the colours that I've got, but I thought I would just show you with these because these are the ones I used for the clock in the other picture. So let's start with this clock and I will show you. So we'll zoom in. It's not the same sort of clock, but hopefully we can still do the same thing. Now what I thought, where I did was I started with my dark brown. You can use any type of pencils, a dark brown, doesn't matter. And I thought about when you see shadow across a clock, it's often in a sort of triangle shape across 2 areas. So what I did was I just did that, like that. Maybe a bit more like that, and then did a sort of opposite one like that, and then I coloured in this bit. Okay, it's really light, so I did it, and you can see it's quite liney, which is fine. I shouldn't be going over the middle. I'm going over the numbers and all the design and stuff, that's fine. We'll worry about that in a minute. So I did that. Then I got my slightly lighter brown, the light umber. You can use a light brown. And I went over the top of this bit. Again, still with these sort of long strokes. Now, do try not to get it on the trunk if you're following along on this book. And extending it. Okay. Beyond this section. Want to try and get to the edge and do something different with the rim. I realise there's lots of detailing on here which I'm ignoring. I will do something with all that in a minute. Like this, and extend it. Going to the edge. Now on that page I did everything else first and I did the clock bit last because I was scared that I would mess it up. So don't think that I could just do it easily, and look how these sections aren't even. Now we're going on to the yellow ochre and we're going to extend further, again going back over the top of this bit and extending this further. So yeah, I was really scared that I would just totally mess it up. So I avoided doing it and left it till last. I wouldn't recommend that, because if you've coloured a picture beautifully and then you leave a bit till last that you aren't sure about, you could mess up your whole page and you might end up just abandoning the page through fear. So it's much better to do the scary bit first, which is what I'm doing on this one. And then we have the Jasmine, which I did last. Now we need to leave some white. So I'm going to leave about that much white. I'm going to just go gently. And same here, I need to leave white. So I'm going to bring this in a bit, but quite lightly. Okay. Now I'm going to try and sort of blend it up a bit. I still want all these lines showing. Because the darker we have this darker area, the more the white stands out and the more shiny our clock face looks. So I'm just basically, I'm going to grab the Jasmine again, I'm sorry, the yellow ochre again, and just do this bit. Sorry, I keep moving the book. It's nice and warm in here. I was cold in the other room. I was in there having a coffee and on the phone. It was felt cool. I put my cardigan on. Actually, when I went down to the kitchen to get my lunch, put my cardigan on. And now I'm feeling warm again. I have to take it off in a minute. But it's warm in here, which is nice. The sun's coming in the window. Okay. Now the brown. I'm just going to try and blend it in a bit better. And I want this dark brown, the 947, to be quite dark, just in the centre part. So say the darker the centre bit is, the more the white shines. Okay, now we need to do all these other bits and pieces and have a look at what's going on. So we have this central area. I'm going to find my eraser. Here it is. And just erase the dark brown that's there a little bit to start with. Okay. Right, and now I need to think about where. Now I want this dark and this light to follow the same pattern across the whole clock, or else it's going to look a little bit strange. So I want this bit here to be dark and this bit here, yeah. And then I get my light umber. I just realised I haven't got my lamp on. I don't know if it makes a big difference. I'm going to pop it on anyway in case the sun goes in. And do that. And then we go in for the yellow ochre and extend that out. And what I want to do is put a little bit on here as well, because I want that little top bit, and do the Jasmine, to look like it's sort of sitting above this bit. I'm going to leave a tiny bit of white here and leave a few bits of white there. Now we have got this hand to do. I want the hand to look lighter, as if it's sitting on top and catching the light. So I'm going to do some dark bits either end like that, and do the same on here. And then get our Jasmine, do the central bits, like that, and a bit of this and a bit of this. Okay. Now we have this design bit here. Now I don't really want to take away the reflection that we've got, I just want to make it look as if it's got a shadow underneath it. So we're going to go in with our darkest. I may need to sharpen this in a minute and put some shadow under it so it looks like it's slightly sticking up from the surface of the clock. put it in a bit darker here where we've got the darker colour underneath. Like that. So hopefully that's sort of working. And around here too. Let's put some shadow in. And around here. And also even under these bits, just a hint that bit's quite small. This one we can do a little bit more. And the same with these items. It's easier with a sharper pencil. I'm being a bit lazy and not going next door to sharpen. Okay, now for the outside rim, I think I quite like it to look similar, so we're going to go in darker here and here where we've got our darker areas of clock face, and now with our lighter colour, our light umber. And you're sort of going to take it along the same area as this colour. So fade it so that it will blend nicely into the next colour. I'm just going to have to wipe my nose, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, we're moving into, I couldn't remember where we were then, yellow ochre. Put a little bit there, and then we're going from here, aren't we? Up, and the same here, so a bit down here, and we would have a little bit coming up here, like this, and then our jasmine. Take that up there. And down there. Oh, the white should be there. I'll just take that up a bit more. There we go. This white, try and line up with the white that is on the actual clock face. And I do want to also go around this rim with this colour, just to make it look like it's higher. The sort of clock face is set into it. You could do this rim in just a plain colour like a black, if you wanted to be easier. I quite like the idea of keeping it all quite metallic. I'm going to not shadow around that and see how it looks in a minute. Yeah, so I want it to look like this bit is attached to the rim. Let's see. Now we need to do the top bit here. It's nice and easy, I think anyway. So we just take our darkest colour, which we've got in our hand, do a dark bit there and there, and a little bit under there, and a little bit there, and a little bit there. Then we take our light umber, and we put a little bit on top and just extend that both directions. Extend that up there and extend that up a bit. Then we switch to our yellow ochre. Take that in there, take that up there, up and up, and then we take our jasmine and we can go over the whole thing, but we need to leave some white for shine. And there we go. There is our pocket watch, I guess it is. Now let's do some cogs. Where are our cogs? Here we go. Now we can do these in other colours that aren't just gold, but I'm going to do it in gold to show you. It's really the same technique. We'll do this one. I'm just thinking about this bit and this bit. I'm thinking we'll keep the bottom bit a bit darker than the top. Now I want to keep the light angle the same as this, so roughly I'll have it there, the dark bit, just so that it's consistent across the picture. So we'll do some dark area here and try and fade it, and the same about roughly here. Now the little one on the top I'm going to not do as dark. I'm going to do a dark bit in there as if that bit's slightly lower. But this bit's higher, so I'm going to make it lighter. Okay, so now I'm just going to fiddle, make that a little bit darker. And I want to go around the edge of here as if they shadow around this, so that it looks like it's sitting on top. Finding it very hard not to go over the lines because I need to sharpen my pencil. I don't have my, I don't know what sharpener I can use for this little pencil. I was going to use my Derwent Super Point Mini, but it's not going to fit in there. I'll have to use my Prisma sharpener, I think, which isn't in here. So anyway, so that's that. And then we'll go in with our light umber, like we have done before. And we'll start here. And take that quite a long way around, remembering that we've got one less colour on this central one because it's a bit lighter, but we'll go over the top of this one but extend it round. Like that. Gosh, the sun's really bright this afternoon. It's actually moving around, so it's not, it's moving away from being on my book, which is quite useful for filming purposes. And remember the centre, go over the bit that's already done and just bring that in a little bit. Have to be careful or else we can end up making it look like it's sticking up because it's light on the top, so I have to think about how I'm going to do that in a minute. So here we have our yellow ochre. This is really just the same as doing the clock. So just extending that around. Remembering, it's really, when you do your golds, you have to think about how many different shades I'm going to use to make my gold, and make sure that you leave enough space to fit them all in within the section that you're colouring. So I need to leave some room for my brighter, my last gold yellow there. And the same here. What I'm going to do in here is completely cover that. I think that's okay, so it doesn't look ultra, I think it'd look a bit weird. And our Jasmine is our last one. So again, we can go right over everything. It helps it to blend. Just bring it forward a bit. Now this shade of gold isn't the same shade as I tend to use when I'm doing my polychromos. I tend to make my gold a lot warmer. And it probably, I don't know whether it looks more or less realistic. It depends on the shade of gold that you're trying to get, really. Basically try and get those to meet up, but with a bit of a white gap. Same here, we've got a bit of a white gap, and here we need one too. Doesn't need to be huge, but it needs to be enough to trick the eye into thinking there's a shine. Now if you need to, you might want to go around where we put the shadow in again to try and emphasize it, but I don't think it needs it, to be honest. Now we've got a cog here which is underneath, which could be a little bit more tricky, but I'll show you. We still want our light and dark in the same place, but of course we're going to get some shadow from here, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So we can just take this angle and think, well, that's where our darkest bit's going to be there. So do that. But this bit's going to be under here, so we can just do a little bit like that, and we'll think about the shadows after. Whoops, sorry, that was a bit of a clatter, wasn't it? And use our light umber just in the same way over the top, and to extend. And here. Sorry, I do it in a weird order, I think. I go back and forth a bit. It's just, I'm sort of thinking as I go, I guess. Then we've got our, our yellow ochre. I think I've put this down a little bit too dark. Here, that transition isn't very nice. I'm just going to grab my eraser and just lighten that up a bit. I think it'll look better. Should use my brush. Maybe I'm just being a bit fussy. And then we get our Jasmine to finish off, leaving that gap. Now I'm aware I haven't done the central part. We'll do a similar thing to what we did here, I think. So we'll go in with our darkest brown. Sorry, I don't know what it's called. I think it might be raw umber. And then light umber. And then all over with the yellow ochre. Now we just need to think about those shadows. So under here, just push in quite a bit of dark, and here. So it looks like it's just sitting above, like that. Okay, and what else do we have? Anything else? How are we doing for time? 22 minutes. I might make that do, actually. I think we've covered a fair bit, but if it looks far better zoomed out. If you look really closely, it doesn't look so nice, but when you zoom out and look from a distance, it looks very much better. And once the rest of the page is done, that really helps, I think. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. But I've got to decide what colours to do the rest of the page. What I'm going to do, my plan for this page, just to talk you through, is to finish all the gold things. I'm going to do the cogs and the keys all in gold. We've got cogs here as well, and chains and bits and bobs. And we've got all this mechanical thing. I might do some silvers as well, and I was thinking about trying to make some bronze or brassy look with a bit. What you would do is after you've done so you do your dark brown, your light brown, but before you do your yellows, you put an orange in there, and it gives you a more brassy, bronzy look. So I don't have an orange to hand. My orange was breaking yesterday. It made me very upset. I lost 3/4 of it in my sharpener because it just crumbled and crumbled and crumbled. But I did buy it as a second and it was damaged, so I think it had just been broken through the core and dropped or something. But anyway, it was what it was. But that's my plan. I don't know what colour I'm going to do the elephant, because with all the metallic, I don't think I want to do him grey because he won't stand out. So I'm going to have a think about that. And I will publish a finished version of this picture. I will get it done before the end of the month, so it will be in my completed pages video. So, but hopefully that's been helpful for you. I do have other metallics videos. I have a whole playlist of metallics, which you can find on my main channel, or there'll be this will be in the playlist as well. I'll try and remember to link to it from the description for you. I think that'll be the easiest, and then you can go and have a look if you want to learn how to do other metallics. It's all really simple. I use different brands of pencils for different videos as well, so if you've got a particular brand you want to know, then that might be more helpful. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was useful. I just, it was fun, and hopefully it's you can have a go and it'll come out how you expect. But thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.